think what came out of starting to work in the area of health was the realization of what the impact of belief. NLP Volume 1 doesn't really talk about beliefs. It talks about strategies, which is, I realized from doing a lot with strategies that there were limits, right? So there was things that at the beginning, yeah, we would think, okay, if I can just change strategy, you can change anything, right? It's just like changing the software. But you realize that's not the only part of the software, right? You could have an operating system and then you have the program, or even in a computer, there's different levels of coding, right? Some
Right.
codes are using other codes. There's machine language, they call it, and then there's these things. So anyway, and of course, because of other life events, like my mother getting cancer and then a recurrence of cancer, and wanting to make a difference. Again, saying, okay, can I actually put this into practice in a way that is not just theoretical, is not just interesting and help understanding, but actually can make a difference. And so I think working with beliefs then became something that was a new understanding and a big part of the work that I did, coming up with some of the belief models and the book on beliefs, pathways to health and well-being. And that's where reimprinting started to come in.
Ah,
Uh,
okay.
yeah, this idea that you have belief forming experiences. Obviously, this is the interesting paradox of being a human being, right? You're not really going to go into the past. You're essentially going to bring the past present because your nervous system is always in the present. So if I'm remembering the past, I'm remembering it now. And that's the whole idea of things like re-imprinting is you're bringing back certain events into the present moment so that you can actually update them like you would update something. And then the key to, of course, re-imprinting there was an earlier NLP process developed by Bandler and Grinder called changing personal history, where you would go back and you would do the same thing. However, the key to re-imprinting, the sort of the important addition was that you also have not just your own experience, but these internalized, or you could call them introjected maps of significant others. And so I'm a child and I have a parent, and the parent is saying something or doing something, just trying to change my own experience doesn't change the relationship. It doesn't. And so big part of reimprinting was adding this idea of a different perceptual position that I'm actually going to shift something in my parents' perspective or some other significant other. And this was even before all of the research about mirror neurons showed that we're built to introject